Good morning. Welcome to Exploring Economic Development with MEDC. My name is Meredith Harris, and we are here with episode 19 of our live video podcast. We're excited this morning. We have one of our favorite hotel representatives to talk to us a little bit about the hotel industry, how COVID has affected their business, what the hotels mean to Marlboro. A lot of exciting stuff coming up. But before we get to Jenney, I really want to introduce my wonderful co-host, Jill Morin.
Me?
Jill.
Meredith.
Good morning.
I love Wednesday mornings with Meredith.
Well, so
and the MEDC team.
Now that we're only doing this once a month, I'm
Yeah.
like, I get in this morning, knew that we were doing the podcast. It's just so exciting.
It is exciting.
Nice to see your smiling face.
I wish we were more comfortable with each other. You know, we are the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation. We take ourselves very seriously, but we also we just love each other.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that too.
And we like to have fun.
I said we like to have fun.
Both. So hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us live, you're either watching us on Facebook or YouTube, which means you can comment. So if you have any questions, if you have for our guests or for us or ideas.
Well, I was going to say too,
Yeah.
you also could be watching from our website.
True.
Which is a new feature.
And it's kind of fancy.
It is fancy.
So if you landed on our website, you scroll down and you found us. Mm-hmm. So if you want to join the conversation, we do recommend that you click on it and then open YouTube, and that'll give you the opportunity to comment and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But you can also just passively listen to this right on our website, which is awesome.
Or you could be watching on WMCT.
On the replay.
On the replay.
So WMCT is our local cable access channel. They've done such an amazing job. We have seen them over the past year. I mean, talk about pivoting and filling needs during really important times. They've just done a great job. Mm-hmm. And they have a new executive director.
Ryan. We're really excited. So Ryan, if you're watching, welcome.
Welcome.
We're excited to have you and excited to work with you in the future.
Yeah.
And we'll send this right over to you as soon as it's over so you can get it up on
export
yours.
Video, send it right over to the cable station. Let's quickly jump to the comments.
Awesome. We've already got some.
We do.
Great.
You know, maybe this like once a month thing is smart because it'll be like every other month they're like, where's Meredith and Jill?
I think it might be more Jenney today.
Might be. It could be. Maybe. It could be. All right. So we've got Kelly Arvidsson joining
Kelly,
us.
How are
she
you?
Said, it's so nice to see you both. Great to see you too. We saw her at the our founders reception.
Kelly was not at the founders reception.
Wasn't she?
It was a figment of your imagination because you
love
Kelly
she was
so
there.
much.
Kelly, comment if you were there.
We really missed Kelly at the founders reception because she's always there, but she was overseas, I believe. She was doing some really great trip selling Massachusetts. Which is part of her job, which is what we do with Kelly all the time. So we missed you, Kelly, but we're glad to see you're back.
I thought I saw her there. Well, I just was like, you were there in spirit.
That's right.
I picked up on that. Hey, LaQuisha, great to see you and your husband here. Episode 19 already. Excited for this topic to see how hotels found ways to thrive. Awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're keeping an eye out for Spencer.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not here today. I know that he's
Spencer has moved on. Our number one fan. He has moved on.
He has.
We
he's
wish
got a
Spencer
new job.
good luck. Yep. He's down in Providence. On one of their stations. He's getting up at like 3 a.m. to do some
He
reporting.
might be doing some camera work live for it's a sub channel of NBC or ABC. It's a big deal. So congratulations, Spencer. Make sure you still check in with us.
That's right.
And Kelly said, "Oh, I miss you too." Sorry, I thought I saw you. Who else did I see? I saw lots of people.
Okay.
President Austin also joins us. Good morning, Meredith and Jill, the best in the biz.
You heard it here first. It's awesome.
All right, so I think we've got all of our housekeeping in gear, except if you're watching this on the replay, you can also comment or let us know if you have any questions or ideas for future episodes because we're totally open to that.
Yep.
All right,
so I also think it's our last episode of the year, which I didn't even realize till this very second.
I wore a festive, there's gingerbread.
Love it.
Men in here, something.
So we really brought our A game for the last episode of 2021 with Jenney Cataldo, who is the director of sales for True North?
True North Hotel Group.
Yep. Which is the group that you work for, which has both of the hotels that are in the Apex Center in Marlborough. So we are really excited to have you here today. We can't wait to chat with you about the hotel industry. And Jenney's been a longtime friend of MEDC. She's just really wonderful to work with, really knowledgeable. So Jenney, thanks for being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me with you guys.
Absolutely.
Very excited to be here.
So tell us about yourself. yourself. So you started in Marlboro in 2017, but give us your background. Where did you come from? What's going on?
So I grew up in southeastern Mass. My parents are farmers. They have cranberry bogs for ocean spray.
Where did you grow up?
In Freetown. So they're independent cranberry farmers.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I started in the hotel industry in 2010. And I traveled from southeastern Mass to Milford, and also I opened the Courtyard in Littleton. So every day I would drive an hour and a half to Littleton, and I drive by Marlborough. And you're
like, hey, what is that beautiful land
yeah.
that I need to go to?
And then I also was on the director for the Metro West CVB.
Okay.
And Marlborough was such a great hub, and it was like all the talk. And I wanted in. So
awesome.
Yeah. So with Apex Center being built, and that opportunity, I started in 2017 at the Residence Inn, and then we opened the 2 hotels at the end of 2017.
At the Apex Center.
Yeah.
So that's the Fairfield and the Hyatt.
Yep.
So 2 of our newest hotels in Marlboro. And we say all the time, Marlboro has the largest number of hotel rooms outside of Greater Boston.
Which is crazy.
It is kind of crazy. I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is the sports center, the corporate travel. You know, we really need the hotels. The demand is there. So that's awesome. Well, we're really glad that you're in Marlboro, that you decided to stop driving by Marlboro. You came to Marlboro. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about both of your properties that you manage now, a little bit about each of the hotels.
Absolutely. So the first hotel is the Fairfield and Suites, 108 guest rooms with 20 suites. We have an indoor heated saltwater pool and a fitness center, and then a meeting space that can accommodate up to about 30 people, 35 people comfortably.
Okay.
My general manager there is Cheryl Prentice. She's amazing. And that hotel, we have done great things. It opened 2 weeks after opening the Hyatt. So that was a lot of work, but just a great opportunity and experience.
Well, that was such an exciting time too. The Apex Center. So I started with MEDC in 2015 when the Apex Center was it was very early stages, just an idea. And then by 2017, it was open.
Right.
Yeah, like it was happening. It was all Robert Walker, the developer for the entire complex. He really wanted to get things done quickly, and luckily he found Marlborough, which was a willing community that also wanted to get it done quickly. So that was really kind of a cool time. To be here.
Yeah. No, the speed that development opened was absolutely mind-blowing because the Hyatt opened first, and that hotel, just to give you a little information, has 137 guest rooms. We have 7 suites. Our suites at the Hyatt are absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
One is 800 square feet, and the other one is over 1,000 square feet.
Wow.
So it's like a small apartment, and our corporate executives love them, and then also our brides. So if you're like the bridal getting ready with all your so that is definitely one of the big attractions for wedding groups.
So is that like really high demand? Like what are your odds of being able to get into the suite, right?
Well, now it's busy. We're doing, we're ramping back up. We're really excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to be priced more, but they're definitely sometimes it's a hit or miss, but yeah, they're
that's
fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
2 beautiful properties.
Yeah.
Beautiful properties. And we joke all the time. So Lindsay in the office, and I think she was going to ask you this question at some point, so I'm probably stealing her thunder, but she talks a lot about when she was younger. So Lindsay grew up in Marlboro, and she talks a lot about when she was growing up here, that her parents once in a while would take her and her brother on the weekends. Like that was like a big adventure, was to go stay at one of the hotels in Marlboro. And so we kind of joke about that all the time, about that was such a cool thing for her to be able to do, and what a cool thing for our residents to be able to do, and go and stay in something just a little different, different to do. And
we have a lot of local people that do travel with their kids, and that was another great thing during COVID when travel reopened, and to see the families come back, and they're not traveling to Florida. Everybody's being more cautious, and what better way to do a staycation, stay in Marlboro, go to Apex Entertainment. It was fantastic to see everybody come back.
Right. Yeah. And what a cool way to do it. Go stay in a suite.
Yep.
At the That's pretty cool.
Right.
I did that a year ago with my 4 kids. My husband was...
You took them all to the hotel with you?
I took them all to a hotel.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just a different place.
Yeah.
And
same chaos.
Same chaos. But it was something so special. And
something different.
I bought them... We ended up going to Marshall's one day, and I got them new stuffies because they don't have enough stuffies.
Oh, my daughter.
Ridiculous, right?
It's ridiculous.
But those stuffies are special because they're
Yep.
like, oh, that's Mama. You can't put that one away because that one's when we went to the hotel.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so like, it's a special thing, especially when you have a pool. So you said a salted.
A saltwater pool?
Yeah, so both hotels have an indoor heated saltwater pool, which is so cool. And it's nice. So you don't have that strong chlorine smell
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool.
The Hyatt, and my general manager there, I want to make sure I mention her, is Janine Ray.
She's great.
She is amazing. She
Yes.
does a lot too with the community. And we have a bar and restaurant at the Hyatt.
Yep.
That's open till 1 a.m. every day, which is nice. So our corporate guests that are
Nice.
coming back, they have
Yeah.
someplace.
So open till 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Last call is like, I think 12:30. So the weddings and it's open to the public too.
Okay, so that is really good to know because
There's no other place.
there's no other places
No
that
other
are open.
places in
And
Marlboro.
Yeah.
we keep saying, I
Yeah.
think it's a lot to do, and we'll get into this as well, but the staffing,
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and say the staffing crisis that's going on, not only in Marlboro, but in the Commonwealth across the country. But, a lot of the restaurants and the bars are closing down a lot earlier than they were before. So that's a really good inside tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, both our hotels, we include a complimentary breakfast, and that is open. Our kitchen at the Hyatt right now, that restaurant for lunch and dinner is closed due to staffing. So we
Yeah.
do, I mean, it's a big issue in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for
We'll
every
get into
industry.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that because that's a big topic.
Going with that, we do have a question here. Are there any, like you just mentioned the bar, but are there other amenities open to residents, or do you have to be staying in the hotel?
That's a great question.
So that's coming from Lindsay, who
Yeah.
used to go with
Lindsay's
her
like,
parents.
all right,
Yeah.
Just
dish.
kidding.
So the pools at both the hotels, they are only for overnight guests.
Okay.
So you do have to stay at the hotel, but just another great reason to come stay at
There
the
you
hotel.
go.
Yeah. Staycation.
Yeah, I think it was in the Residents of Marlboro page, during one of the storms, I had put out an
remember that.
offer for residents of Marlboro, mention this deal and, come stay with us because, power or any issue.
Right, any
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, plus the pool's open.
So Lindsay, there you
awesome.
go. You get your Friday night plans. You just have to book a night, and then you can go to the saltwater pool. You're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Absolutely.
friends are invited,
Right?
Right.
let the team know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So we heard about the hotels. Is there
Yes.
anything else that you wanted to say that you didn't? I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
covered it.
There, meeting space, breakfast. Yeah,
Awesome.
we
got it.
got it.
We got it. All right. So then tell us a little bit about your role. What exactly? So you're in, people might not understand, you're in 2 different hotels.
Yep,
You're the
so
director of
I-
sales. What does that mean?
I work for True North Hotel Group. Great company. They're based out of Kansas City, and we're a hospitality company that oversees, operates, and manages different branded hotels. So the Fairfield is a Marriott hotel, and the Hyatt Place is a Hyatt. So
Which people are so loyal to their brands
oh, very loyal,
Points.
and the reward. Yeah. ask very loyal to their brand, but I'm always trying to sway some Hilton people,
Right.
or it's really what the traveler wants and what's important to them when booking a hotel.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So director of sales for the 2 hotels, so I oversee setting up the corporate accounts, the rates, and then group blocks as well. But it's mostly about creating and maintaining those relationships within the community, such as us. And, just trying to make sure we're always in the know of what's coming into the area, and just, as we were talking earlier about like BJ's and
Right.
wholesale and stuff coming
Yeah.
in.
So we've got a great relationship, and we talk all the time. We have great relationship with all of our hotel folks, all of the hotel representatives. We meet with a group once a month. It's called the Marlborough Hotel Association, which has been going on for many, many years.
Yeah.
But that's a really great way for all of you to be able to get in the same room together, because
Yeah.
you're all pulling from the same pool, right?
Right.
I mean, so
You're
all the corporate
correct.
business, the sports, the stuff that's going on, it only behooves all of us to be able to talk to each other about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I found that, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but what a unique thing to Marlboro. You don't go to other communities.
You do
where
not
all-
get this anywhere.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to be in the hub. I wanted to
Yeah.
be in the middle of it, right?
But what a cool thing. And I mean, when I first started, Mary Simone, who's over in Worcester now, Mary was big in Helene. Helene was
At the Hampton, yeah.
At the Hampton, and then Richard Tomanek, who's at the Embassy Suites. But like a really great group of people, and Christine Kelly, you know, those are some of the names that have been around for a long time, but that started this hotel association group, and it's just fabulous.
Right.
And so then over time, we ended up adding in Wes Tuttle would come from the New England Sports Center, Apex, once Apex came around. So really trying to get everybody in the same room and talk about, are there any issues that you're having? What do you have coming down the pipeline? Hey, New England Sports Center, is there a huge tournament that's coming? How do we all make sure that those rooms are staying in Marlborough. Right? So that's like, those are some of the behind the scenes things that you don't always see. But we were just talking before we logged on that the New England Sports Center accounts for, I believe it's about 45,000 room nights a year. And of course, the city doesn't want to see, and you guys too, but don't want to see any of those room nights go anywhere other than Marlboro, right? And a lot of that has to do with, if they're staying at our hotels, they're going to be eating at our restaurants. We talk about this all the time. Big fish feed the small fish, right? They're going to be, emergency haircut. They're coming downtown to Rocks, or, you know, need to get whatever it may be. And the mall. The mall's right down the street as well. But we're talking about relationships. So I need to razz Jenney a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little bit. So I think probably one of her most important relationships in her life, I heard right before we came on, we may have had something to do with it.
Okay, so
you don't even know.
Jill doesn't know the story.
I don't know the story, so I'm hearing this for the first time with all of our
So it's a genuine
viewers.
reaction.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we're going to ask you, what is your favorite relationship that you have with another Marlboro group in the city?
Wow, way to put me on the spot. Thank you so much. Oh my God. And you know what? He's watching right now. He's like, oh yes, this is wonderful. So Apex Entertainment.
Apex Entertainment. And why is that?
So Marcus.
Yes. We love Marcus.
Kowalski, the chief operating officer for Apex, and I, we've been together for a while.
Yes.
And I met him through the MEDC at the Founders Reception in 2017.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that, but when she came in today, she's like, yeah, we met at the Founders Reception in 2017. Like, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So not only does MEDC, you know, we build connections for school to business, we bring companies into the town, we build love relationships.
Right. Yep.
You know?
And we lived in Marlborough for a while too. So the commercial that you guys have is, I'm like, that's me. That's live, work, and eat, and find love.
Find love. That's awesome. No, congrats to you guys. You've been together for some time now. Marcus is also one of our favorite people. But you, gosh, what a dream team, power couple.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So we won't tease you anymore. But Marcus, if you are watching, we want you to come on to the podcast as well. But we definitely need to get Jenney on first.
Right, because
obviously.
I have to be first.
Awesome. And before you leave, like when we stop streaming, we need to get some trivia or something
about him.
Oh, I have some good stuff.
Okay, perfect. But all of that being said, we'll get back to being serious.
That's more than that.
Those relationships, though, are important.
Really important.
They're really important. So it goes, of course, goes beyond falling in love and all those good things. But we all work really well together. And sitting at that table and being able to talk to each other about what's coming down the pipeline.
Right.
I mean, there's so many times that I remember being in those meetings where someone comes to the table and says, like, hey, we've got too much business. We all need to help each other out. And we've got this huge tournament that's coming in. And let's make sure those folks all stay in Marlboro.
Right.
So just a really unique, cool group of people that I think it deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you for your participation in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Avelina says, what a wonderful love story. And Linda says, yay, Jenney.
Yay, Jenney. That's great. That's great. All right. Awesome. So I want to talk about I know this is not always a fun topic, but is an interesting topic when it comes to hotels, COVID. We've got to talk about COVID because COVID, for the hotel industry, the hospitality industry, you guys were affected in ways that no other industry was affected.
Right.
Certainly COVID hit everybody, but the hotels really struggled, especially in Marlboro. We've got, again, the largest number of hotel rooms outside of the greater Boston area. We're constantly tracking those numbers of what does that look like. Things have come back a little bit, not fully. So tell us a little bit from your perspective. What did COVID do to you guys? Bring us back to that bad time, March of 2020.
That was rough. COVID, to put it lightly, COVID really hurt the entire industry worldwide. It was worse than any prior anything.
Right.
So March of 2020, we started getting our cancellations. And as, sales, it was all the groups. And it was just corporate group after corporate group, sports teams. And we weren't really sure what was happening and what was going to happen. But basically, we went from being 70, 80% occupied to 10, 15% maybe. And then we got shut down completely, except for essential travelers. So it was a really tough time. And Marlboro specifically, True North Hotel Group has 25 hotels spread throughout the country. And Marlboro is, and even as of right now, we're kind of in the back of coming, to recover because of the big corporate accounts that aren't traveling yet.
Right.
So during COVID, it was really tough. Yeah.
Well, so explain that a little bit. So for people that are watching that might not understand, so when we say corporate travel, what do we mean by that?
So corporate travel is your business transient travel, the people that are coming Monday through Thursday for, let's say, Boston Scientific or TJX. We have a lot of global headquarter companies right here in Marlboro, and most of the big companies put a hard travel ban on any sort of travel.
Right. And some of it's still in place.
It is still in place until 2022.
Right.
So that's tough. So
that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That was tough. And, we, as sales, and I opened the 2 hotels myself from nothing to see it go from such a great business to nothing. You feel you feel responsible for it. So it was tough to get through it, but COVID taught me you have to adapt and be able to change. And what I used to do, I don't do anymore.
Right.
How you find business. And I had to look for the traveling nurses, the telecommunications business, all the business that we didn't have before.
Right.
You just really had to look for it.
You had to look for it.
Yeah.
And so is that changing? Have you seen some of the corporate travel back?
Yeah. So the good thing is Marlboro is amazing because there's so many great little hidden gems here. Yeah. Biotech companies, cannabis companies. Can I say that? Cannabis companies?
Yes, you can.
I mean,
yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Because they're growing. And that's really been great throughout that. But there's also the companies that have had a lot to do with the vaccinations for COVID.
Right.
We can say Hologic. We all are aware of that company, and all the hotels have that one. They've done a lot, and they've been traveling the whole time. So not to the same level, but
there's so many of them. And I think to your point, a lot of what we do is try and find those, you want the big fish, right? We want to make sure that we're bringing those big Quest Diagnostics and all those companies. But there's also those mid-level companies that are doing similar work where sometimes you read all the time in the news, Boston Scientific has acquired XYZ or, So making sure that there's those mid-level companies as well that are supplying the Boston Scientifics of the world, that's why it's so important is to be able to keep that cycle going.
Right.
But we've got so many of them. I mean, like Repligen, Sartorius is another one that just opened down on Donald Lynch
That
Boulevard.
is a really cool business.
It is a cool business.
They have like 8 individual labs in there. That's pretty
super cool.
Yeah.
Stage by. I mean, there's so many. I could name them, for a million hours. But Quest Diagnostics, that was another one where everybody else was home. They were not.
Right.
They were doing the testing, not only for the Commonwealth, but, across the country.
Right.
So that type of business never stopped. But, I was just saying to Jenney, if anybody from TJX is listening, we worry about you.
We miss you, and we're ready to welcome you back.
Yeah, folks that are in some of those more office, not manufacturing, those types of roles. I'm not going to lie, that makes me a little nervous. We drive by TJX and that campus over there, you have a huge amount of space.
Yeah.
A lot of employees that typically before COVID were coming to the office every day. Yeah. And they're just not doing that right now.
Right.
And we try to survey the companies who's coming back. It seems to be kind of a mixed bag of a hybrid at some point.
Yeah.
But only time will tell.
It's tricky. I can see having done all, right? Having worked exclusively from home, work exclusively in the office, and then doing a hybrid. It varies on industries. It varies on people's needs. I know for me, having in-person connections, there's just so many moments that you could never anticipate. There's so many conversations.
The brainstorming that goes on.
In person.
Right. That would never happen
Virtual.
spontaneously
Right.
on an email or even on a Zoom, because there have been some great conversations even at the school, problem solving moments when I'm walking back from the bathroom to my office, and I happen to run into somebody. So there's power in that, but then I also I can totally appreciate companies that have said, you know what, for this season or for these people that are serving these roles, you don't need to commute anymore. You know, so there's it just varies.
And it depends on the person, the company, the situation. Absolutely.
But that in-person collaboration is, I think we all remembered when COVID first hit, when we were on the full lockdown, and then seeing people for the first time.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was the best feeling.
Amazing.
Do you remember you had just started at MEDC and I went to like my first in-person meeting?
You should have seen. I did not know Meredith well enough. And she's always been friendly. Like, we had all these great interactions. But she came in, she popped her heels off, and she was giddy. She was so giddy.
Well, there's something to be said about it.
Where did you go?
The mayor and I had our first in-person company meeting.
Wow.
It had been like a year
and
since we had done that.
Masked and following all the guidelines.
But it was just nice to see
just
people.
being around people and having those conversations. And no, you were a little girl. It was adorable. And I remember, was it Linda or Sam was like, Ooh,
she's excited.
Really extroverted. She got her energy. Yeah.
Well, I thrive off of it. And there's plenty of people like that want to be around people.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. So you guys had to pivot a lot. There was a lot of changes that took place.
Gosh.
We had talked a little bit about before we came on, even the stuff you're struggling with now, like the supply chains. Tell us some more. Some of the behind the scenes. What do people not know? There's a lot. There's a lot.
So staffing is an issue in every industry. As we know, there's a for help wanted sign everywhere, but that's a huge problem right now because hotels never close. We're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So staffing, we're looking for housekeepers. We can't keep up with the business is coming back, but we don't have the staff to help with that. So I think the general managers have done an amazing job working with what they have, but that's a big issue is the staffing. And then the other thing is supplies. We cannot even get matching pool towels. And so we're franchise and we have strict guidelines. We're supposed to, and we're doing our best. We're doing a great job, Marriott and Hyatt. But when we need pool towels or linens, we can't get them in.
When you were saying right before, it has to be like a specific color, right?
Yeah. Down to, and it's a struggle, right? On brand. And it's all about brand. And then even the food, at our for our breakfast at both hotels, we can't get what we're supposed to get in. So we're having to make the best choices we can and go with that. So it's a lot of stress for the managers, and I commend them for all their work.
I imagine they're having to do things probably way outside of maybe their job descriptions.
Oh, yeah. Well, even this morning I stopped by the Fairfield before, and Cheryl, our general manager, is on the front desk. So it's a lot of stepping in and helping out where we need to.
And thank God for those people that are willing to do that.
Yeah. And it's at both hotels. We're, both GMs
it's
are
everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. And
Well, and it's not just affecting the hotel industry.
It's
it's everywhere.
The public schools,
everybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mind-boggling. You sit back and it's kind of like,
where did everybody
go?
Yeah.
And it's a complex issue. There's a lot to do with it, but it's definitely not getting better.
Right.
So, and I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, but it's definitely something that people should be aware of when you're going into hotels, to restaurants. I mean, even we're talking about the life science companies. Even they're having a hard time, finding folks to be manufacturing and in the labs. So it's hard.
Well, when COVID hit and the shortage of nurses, that was scary. Like, how do you get somebody up to speed that quick and educated? That's
and then being a patient and trying to schedule important appointments and then having to be like, okay, we're not booking. We're 3 months. We're 6 months out.
Right.
It's tough.
It is tough.
I will say having taken time off, I used to be a teacher full time, and then I kind of had a year where I was doing something else. And having not worked and worked, I don't know if it's just how I'm wired. I love the community that I get from working.
Well, you're like me. You're like that giddy little girl that likes to talk to
I
people.
really do. There's something so special and
Yep.
about really being able to use my mind and stretch myself and try to figure out, okay, there's a problem.
Right.
How are we gonna do that with the tools that we have?
Yo, I'll solve
I
it.
was just singing that in my head, and I'm glad you sang that.
And it was awesome.
Baby.
I'll solve it.
So here's my PSA. If you're on the fence about whether to go back to work, if you're able to do that and you're looking for employment, there are tons of opportunities.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I don't have any agenda other than saying
Right.
I truly love working.
Yeah.
And when there's because there's so many opportunities,
Right.
it's a great time to try
Something
Different
new.
things. And I think that might have been what's
Yeah.
happened too. COVID's taught people that quality of life, balance is always really important,
Yes.
and maybe they want to try something different.
Something
Yeah.
different. But
Yeah.
so we had a hospitality job fair a couple, maybe early September. We had 15 of our businesses that were there, really well set up. You know, it was
marketed well.
It was marketed well.
Yeah.
We worked with Mass Hire to do it. We had 6 people come through the door. It was almost like a slap of reality of like, where's everybody? You know, so that's enough on that, right?
Yeah.
But
Go to the positive
If
subjects
we
then.
want to transition
Absolutely.
to the comments.
Please.
Yeah?
Please.
Okay. So let's see. We've got a question from President Ossing. He's saying, when do you anticipate the return of corporate functions
That's
to
a great
hotel?
question.
Or are they already happening? Can you tell us about that?
That's a great question because we are starting to see that. And my 2 hotels have had corporate groups in-house, which is very exciting and gives us hope for more. Most of these are like medical manufacturing companies that they have to do the on-site training with the devices.
Yeah.
But it is starting.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. The great thing about where my 2 hotels are in Apex Center is we work so frequently with Apex Entertainment as they have just under 4,000 square feet of meeting space. So I'll get a request for an event for 100 people that I can't accommodate in my 2 meeting rooms, but yes, we can at Apex Entertainment, 1,000 square feet of pure fun and meeting space. And
Okay, I'm just
sorry, I had to do that because that's
I'm using that. I'm using that tiny clip somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know when.
But there's so many corporate meetings and events that we in the past and that are starting to come back now.
Yeah.
They'll book their meeting at Apex or our hotels, overnight rooms at the hotels, and they do they use Apex Center for their team dinners or Muse to do the painting and
all that
axe
stuff.
throwing. So
Well, we're even starting to come back. So we started doing our in-person board meetings September, I want to say it was. I think that was our first one back. But we expected like half.
Right.
We thought half would stay on Zoom, half would commit. We had like a full house.
that is awesome.
Yeah, because everybody
That is
was
really good.
excited to come back.
Yeah.
and
People
it
are
was
ready to
exciting.
come back, and the hotels we're ready to welcome people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. We just had our founders reception.
I missed it. I was in Florida at the IAPA.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't come because we already found love at one founders reception.
Ooh, he would have had to come with me.
Just kidding. But I don't think there was any love stories at that one, but
We'll find out in how many years?
in 4 years,
4
right?
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
for you.
That's right. But it was such a well-attended event, and we were excited. We had just under 100 people that were there. People were pumped to be back out
That's
in the community.
awesome.
Embassy Suites did an amazing job.
Their
It was
renovation
beautiful.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
that they
so,
did. Yeah.
Shout out to Embassy Suites, $16 million renovation right before COVID.
Yeah.
That it
That was
ended
tough.
like
it was right
that's
before
tough.
COVID, but they did a phenomenal job with the reception, and people were just excited to be out.
Yeah. And we were there late.
We were.
we
Some
hung
of
out.
us were later than others.
Some of us.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've got another comment.
Okay, go,
unless-
yes.
Did I cut you
Not
off?
at all. Go right ahead.
All right.
I'd rather hear from those folks.
Well, we've got one comment. It's not a question, but it's an awesome, encouraging comment from LaQuisha and her husband. I forget your husband's name, but they said the inside scoop is so neat because I didn't realize the relationships were so chummy between the hotels.
Well,
Yes.
I don't think you get that everywhere, though,
You
right?
don't. You don't.
Right.
It's very competitive.
competitive, right?
Very. So it's very welcoming. It just
Right.
feels good
Yeah.
that we all play nice in the sandbox. That's
Right.
how we.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody's like Team Marlboro.
Yep.
Yes. Well, and it's hard, and there are lines that can't be crossed, right?
Right,
Like
correct.
there's confidential things that are
Yep.
talked about. So there's a lot of things but we're all aware of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like, how do we all work together to do? And it's something unique that I found in how do we all work together to make Marlboro the best place to live, work, play, and stay, right? I mean, because honestly, at the end of the day, we in West used to say this all the time, like we don't want people staying outside of Marlboro. We want them staying here. Yeah. You know, let's do this together. It's a big engine. Yeah. And it's a huge driver for the city, the hotels. Huge.
Yeah. They've got a follow-up question. Have the hotels created events to try to garner the local interests of their communities since the outside travelers can't travel in? Just a thought.
Yes. I mean, to answer that question, yes. But Marlboro's always been really unique because we've got the trade center too, right?
Yeah.
So
and that is huge.
Which is huge. So you're bringing in, you know, not just your corporate travelers and your hockey folks, but I mean, hockey is our bread and butter.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's our bread and butter in Marlboro. But the trade center has all kinds of shows that come in. Right. Different weekends. There's like a gem show. Then you know and around that table, that's what we talk about is how do we get really creative? Yeah. Different associations, you know,
Skills USA,
that's things like that. Yeah. I mean, you've mentioned a couple times the traveling nurses. You know, we all know what's going on in the Commonwealth, or you know, and with our friends over in Worcester, we all know that that's happening. Right. You know, so we're happy to be of service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We are welcome.
Hopefully they figure that out, but you know, we're happy to be of service. You know, while they are trying to do that. So yeah, to answer your question, I think that's where this group really comes into play.
Right.
You know what would be interesting? I'm wondering if there's any Marlboro residents here watching. I know that there are.
Absolutely.
So many. Anyways, I got distracted. So if you have a special interest, so for example, I have 2 Newfoundland dogs. They're just the best dogs.
You've said this a couple times.
I had one growing up. They're huge.
They're huge. They're hairy. You know how like Dysons are supposed to last like 10 years?
Yeah, 5.
Like 1, 2 years with a Newfie. The drool is a situation, but they're really good with families. But there are people, like there's this event every year up in New Hampshire. It's called Newfie Fun Day, and we take the kids and the dogs, and you see all these hundreds of Newfies, and
that's fun.
You know, people are like die hard. If you have a Newfie, you're like, I'm a Newfie person. So I'm wondering if, I mean, even we could put something in the residence page. What special interests do our local residents have that we could kind of encourage
for the hotels?
Yeah. Because
that's a great question.
I mean, dog people are like, they will travel.
That is another theme that comes up a lot. That like
there's some dog shows I know in
before the babies. And like,
I don't know. I think it's something we should brainstorm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked a little bit about the cons of COVID, what that kind of meant, but it sounds to me like the horizon is bright.
Yes.
Things are coming back. The corporate travel is coming back. So it's not all bad news.
Right.
It is some good news.
There is some good news. Yes.
That's wonderful.
And it's not just the corporate travel. It's more also the leisure travel. During the state reopened the end of May for high-risk sports, but in addition, all the stimulus money. We saw families come out, and it was just so nice to welcome them, and they did the staycations. So the pool, Apex.
Cool.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
That was good.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
So we're bumping up against time.
How did that happen?
I told you. I said it goes so fast.
It does.
It goes so fast when we start talking. Unless we have any other questions, I don't want to cut anybody off.
Well, LaQuisha did answer my question. Her husband's name is Corey. And
okay, great.
She said, if Marlboro ever needs a blind guide to test enjoyability of the city, remember him.
Awesome.
So their YouTube channel is really interesting. It's called Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life.
That's really cool.
So guys,
that is really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Right? There's a saltwater pool. We got
We've got great amenities.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got lots
great
of cool
amenities
stuff to do.
So we're going to move into
a game.
That's
my favorite part of the show. So Jenney no longer lives in Marlboro, but did live in Marlboro.
I did live in Marlboro
for a good amount of time. You just recently purchased a home, and so off you went. Which congratulations, that's exciting.
Thank you.
But we're gonna bring you back. Pretend like you still live in Marlboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the game is called Where Do You Go?
Right.
In Marlboro.
Right.
All right.
In
so
Marlboro.
we've got 4 or 5 scenarios, and you'll just whatever pops into your head. No feelings will be hurt in this.
Gosh.
Okay. All right. Here we go. First one. It's Friday night after a long week, and you don't want to cook.
Where do you go?
Ooh, I'd pick Fireflies.
All right.
Yeah. My buddy Steve, you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love Fireflies.
What's your favorite Fireflies?
Yeah.
What's your go-to dish?
Oh, the pulled pork.
The
just
pulled
like pulled
pork.
pork. In Westminster, there's not very limited options. So I miss
Okay,
Marlborough.
so I'm just
I might be
saying.
going there tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they do great cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got live music
Cool
every
vibe.
Yep.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
they do
Steve.
specials right now. Their weekly specials are a to die for.
Yes.
But you can also get your pulled pork whenever you want. All right. So here's another one. Ready for question 2?
Mm-hmm.
Your team wants to plan an office outing. Where do you go?
Oh, I might not be in a relationship if I don't say this. Apex Entertainment for my employee outing.
I need a ding, 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 ding.
Do we have a buzzer?
We need to get a buzzer.
We do need to get a buzzer.
Or like a button, like on the Ellen show where
That's
they just
right.
hit ding.
That's right.
All right.
So Apex Entertainment. So would you go to the entertainment space, or is are you going?
Well,
to
is
the
there a
paint
meeting
bar?
involved, or are we just, is this like a team
I don't know,
building
you tell
activity?
me.
Yeah, you tell us.
Well,
What's
after
the great
our
idea there?
full day meeting at Apex Entertainment, catered by them as well, we would then go down to the bar to have some of their signature cocktails
Whoa.
and probably do some bowling in the VIP lane.
Perfect.
Wow.
I love it.
And I'm not even
Apex.
on their payroll.
Nicely done. A vested interest, but very
Nicely
nice
done.
plug.
Nicely done.
All right, we got another one here. You've got the day off, and the kids want to do something fun. Oh, if you
can't
I
say
can't
Apex.
say my hotel
No,
either.
you
no.
can't. And you can't say Apex. You gotta say something else.
Oh, so I'm not. I'll butcher the name. Galoni.
Galoni.
Yeah,
Galoni
Galoni,
Park. I
yes.
brought my daughter there. So many. The splash pad. That was really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool?
It's really cool.
It is really
Yeah.
cool. I have so many of my friends, so we all have young kids, and they're like shocked that we have these, not one, but like multiple splash
Yeah.
pads and
Yeah.
wading pools and parks. Like, there's just so
Yeah.
much recreation in this city.
even Memorial Beach. So I grew up in Marlborough.
Yep. We brought it. Yeah.
And because we had a pool in the backyard, and so I remember we did it one of our city happenings at Memorial Beach. And I'm like, man, it's so beautiful up here. I can't believe this. I've never been here. And Lindsay was like ready to be like, you call yourself a Marlboro Panther. Maybe I did go when I was little. I don't know.
Were you were a hawk, weren't you? No, I'm just kidding. Was it hawk?
Never.
Hawk meat.
Hawk.
By the way, I thought of that exact moment on
Didn't you
Thanksgiving.
do that? You did that on another episode.
Yes,
I
she
watched you
did.
do the
Panthers
dance.
eat
Hawk meat.
Yeah.
And the Panthers ate a lot of hawk meat on Thanksgiving Day.
so much.
Boom. It was awesome.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know I was going to be here for this moment.
Yeah.
Special.
You're glad you are.
You're welcome.
Very
You're welcome.
special.
You're very welcome. All right, we got another one here. You have the day to yourself and want to do some pampering as one should.
Right.
Where do you go?
She's like, that's never happened.
I know. I'm like,
is
I'm
this
a
of
mom
which you
and I
speak?
work. Ooh, that's good. So Elements Massage used to be in Marlborough.
They did.
But probably Delaria. And I'm sorry for all these shameless Apex Center.
That's okay.
events,
That's
but,
where you work.
The hair salon there would be
It's awesome.
And then right next door is Ivy Nails. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe
you
go
go.
get a cocktail somewhere.
yeah, 110 Grill.
Oh, there we
Hey.
go.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done. I'm here all day.
You know what I really love? Aviva Trattoria.
Yes.
So
It's
good.
So
The
good.
salmon there.
You always plug the
I
salmon
do.
there. I love
Because
it.
it is
They do have
so
good salmon.
Good.
Yeah.
They put the capers and spaghetti squash. Guys,
Delicious.
I might be going there for lunch. All right, we've got 2 more.
Oh gosh.
All right. Let's see. Okay. You've been on the road for a week.
Okay.
What's the first thing you want to do when you get back to Marlborough? Don't say throw axe.
Yeah, no. Like, so I've been
That's
on
so
the road-
much fun, though.
Yeah.
Throwing axes is so much fun.
Honestly, it's checking in with everybody. So I work
Yeah.
remote sometimes, and it's really just getting to the hotel to see everybody and
To see everybody.
check in with everybody.
What's
yeah.
going on.
That's a great
That's
answer.
the truest workaholic
Like, I'm-
answer I've ever heard. I love
But
it.
it's like I miss people.
it.
Like when I'm not here, I go, yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. You would go back to my giddy little schoolgirl excitement over a company meeting with the mayor.
You can only get so excited on Zoom calls.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so we've got another one. But this one is a little unique because I want to plug. We've got hidden gems. So if you're watching us here, go over to our Facebook page and vote for Marlboro's Hidden Gem. And the theme this week is
Gift shops.
gift shops.
Yep.
So what hidden gems in Marlborough are your go-to place for gift shops? So the holidays are coming up and you need to buy a gift. Where do you go in Marlborough?
This one. I would have to say Embroidery Unlimited.
Woohoo.
The
Okay.
Winskies. If you need anything apparel with
Great
logos.
family business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
They do
Yeah, I
awesome.
have a ton of stuff from like when I was a student at Marlborough High. I mean, I think they exclusively did all of our sports gear.
They're great.
And you can go and
Yeah.
get just a few items too, which is
Yeah.
great.
We get a lot of our stuff from them as well.
My daughter
Awesome.
went to the dance school right next door, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So can I do a plug while we're doing Hidden Gems?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Why I wouldn't, right?
I don't
so
know why.
we have to wrap up soon because we are going to a ribbon cutting for Dancing Orchid Soapworks on Main Street in
Love
Marlborough,
her.
which is another amazing gift shop. It's going to be right across the street from Flying Dreams.
Yep.
All handmade candles, soaps, lotions.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. It's just
beautiful.
really cool. Beautiful store.
I think they even have like an interactive portion where you can kind of do your own,
You
pick your
can
own scents,
make your own
party.
candles, and
Yeah.
she's got a cool candle bar. Absolutely stunning space, brand new. But she'll be doing her ribbon cutting at 11 o'clock today with the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce. So we're really excited for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hidden Gems. We want people to vote for Hidden Gems.
Yes.
Get out and shop local for the holiday season this year. Jenney, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
So much fun. Yeah. And if you're looking for any gifts along the lines of gifts, a staycation at one of the hotels in Marlborough is a
Great
wonderful idea.
Great idea.
Again, saltwater pool. So make sure to get the kids out.
Yeah, or especially like grandparents. You could gift that, and then the grandparents take the grandkids to a staycation,
And then
That's a big thing.
and then
The parents,
Mom or
what would you do
dad
with
or-
your time?
whatever
Right?
we want.
A Newfoundland, getaway somewhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. With that, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 19. Our next episode, which will be episode 20, will be the 1st January of 2022. So we really look forward to
January
seeing you
5th.
then. January 5th.
January 5th.
Perfect. Have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for doing this with us all of 2021. We've had so much fun, and we look forward to another year of exploring economic development with MEDC.
Bye.
Bye.